see. Oh, there we go. Hello. How is everybody? I'm back again. I couldn't actually see the little clock timer, so I couldn't see if it had turned on or not. Today, I'm going to make something else for you. 3 in a row, but a buck. They must be getting better, hopefully. I'm going to have a go at making some daguerreotype type, in inverted comma, things out of craft envelopes or craft coloured envelopes. You can make these out of any size envelope you like. I have made lots of them in lots of different sizes, so I'll show you at the end all the bits and pieces that I've made. But for this video, I'm going to do some A4 ones and some A5 ones, which are these two. And just for your delectation, I've written down all the kits that I'm using. These are all the coffee kits of Dave's that are going to appear in this in some shape or form, and they're on the back. They're the older kits of his that are on Etsy, which has a 75% off sale at the moment, so go along and have a look. But yeah, we're going to have a go at making, it's a big long word, daguerreotypes, that's what they're called. That sort of idea. Little case things that they made in Victorian times when photographs still started and had pretty things like this in them. I am, however, going to make them slightly different. So we'll get rid of that one and we'll move this and off we go. And we'll chat as we go because there's a lot to fit into an hour. So all I've done is I've got 3, get rid of the thread, A4 envelopes, and what I've done is I've taken a slither off 3 sides of them so that they open like this, like a big sheet of paper. Yeah, I've done it with 3. This one's got a window in, so I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a little variation on that one. I'm going to keep the window, but if we take one, slice off 3 sides, and then I'm not going to give you any measurements because obviously everybody has different size envelopes, and I've made a lot with different size envelopes, and I just used the lines on my mat. So I put a line down, there's my centre fold, because the whole envelope was folded in half after I'd sliced off the 3 sides. I lined it up with a line, and I've left a gap there, and then all I did was, using an old file folder, is I made templates in various sizes for the various size envelopes. Oh, but let me show you. Just took a piece of cardboard that was that size. Ta-da! And I made a template. And for an A5 one, which is exactly the same principle, A5 envelope, folded in half, open it back up, slither off 3 sides so it's completely open, and then put it on my mat, line down the middle, and then I made a template that fits into the square that's left, like that. Does that make sense? I hope. And rather than measuring every single time, I literally just used the lines on my mat and made templates, and I've got bigger envelopes and I've made smaller envelopes. You'll see at the end there's a lot of different ones, so hopefully so far so good, you're keeping up. Because if I'm going to get these done in an hour, I need to kind of rush through them, and then you just need on one side, and you could do it on both, but for the purpose of this video I'm just doing it on one side, and it doesn't have to be exact, like that's not an exact fit, but I do it mine. And all I'm doing is marking the edges and then drawing around my inside. I'm not even really holding it in place very well, which I learnt to my cost with the smaller ones that I made, because they were very fiddly. So then you're left with that shape on there. Do the same on the other side, and I guess we'll do like a bit of mass making, because I will do all 3. I took 3 out of each size to do. Whether we'll get them finished or not, I don't know, but we'll have a good go. You know, semi-speed crafting as I try and make sure you understand what I'm doing. To end up with that. Hopefully that makes sense. So 2 tag shapes on one side, not on the other. So same on this one, cut off the 3 sides, line down the middle, and then literally line my fold line up. And this was easy because my metal ruler fits in 2 of those. So I did that. Drew a line down either side, and then this sits here, butts up against the top. And again, when I was making the templates, all I did was use the squares on my mat. I'd cut a square that was almost the right size, so it's slightly smaller, and then use squares on my map to make equal sides, so that each side's the same. I think these are 1.5 centimetres actually, and the other one is 1 centimetre, and I made bigger ones that were 2 centimetres. That was easy because that was just the width of my ruler. So this one, I'm just going to do the top, so it's tag shaped, but I'm not going to mark the inside bit because I'm just going to keep that out a window and it can be a pocket of sorts. Final one, again, cut on 3 sides. Ooh. Done my lines down the middle, done my tag shape, cut it out. Oop. And obviously these will, I've got a bag of templates somewhere or a big file of templates somewhere, these will just go on with that, because although this is a Halloween themed thing, excuse me, it has many, these will, blah 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 blah, these will have many uses, I feel, because they're essentially photo frames, so you could use them in all sorts of different projects. Like I said, you could do this on both sides and cut them out, and then and then have acetate on both sides so you can see completely through them, and I may well do at some point in the future. Okay, so that's those 3. We'll put them to the side for a second because I'll do the 3 of these because I need these as well. And I'm doing 3 because I'm gonna draw a line on this one. Of course I didn't, that would have been too easy. So I'm going to line it up down the middle of a square and then just draw a line following the lines on my map. No measuring. And that's how I found it so easy to apply it to whatever envelope for whatever size, because I just used squares on my map rather than thinking it must be this many centimetres, or, and I'm sure there are probably easier ways, but I don't know, worked for me. And have my little template worked for me. So that's that one. There's my little template. So same again. Line it up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Top. Here we go, I'm trying to rush through this now. So, while I'm doing these 3, because hopefully that all makes sense and you can see what I'm doing. How is everybody? I hope we're all well. Hope everything's going well. I would just like to say thank you for all the lovely comments I've had from people, especially those people who I've known for quite a long time, who have been very welcoming to see me back and very positive. Like I said in my first video, it's very strange starting again, but I'm really happy to be doing it again and talking to you all and having you all back there. So for that I am very thankful. And plus get to play with all Dave's kits again. Oh, and there's lots of new ones. around, lots out, lots in the pipeline, lots coming along. So it's quite exciting. And plus I've got, as I mentioned before, I think in my first video, I've got loads of flip throughs to film as well, of all the journals that got made whilst I wasn't seeing you all, which should be quite interesting. See what you think of those. Some of which will come after this video, because some of the Halloween ones are stuff that were done in the interim and just finished recently. Okay, that's that one. But yeah, there's plenty to be going on with. So, and I literally, the two cupboards that had all my stuff in them, it's literally at the moment all over the floor, because I was trying to go through it and sort it out and work out what I had and what I didn't have. And although I said I've not had to buy anything on Amazon for best part of 2 years, and I haven't spent any money on anything for the best part of 2 years, judging by the amount of stuff I've got, I probably can get away with not doing it for another 2 years. So, the word hoarder sprang to mind. But yeah, it'll all get used. So I've hoarded it for a while, but I'm working my way through it. And I think it was just that whole, when I first started, it's like, I have to have everything. I have to have all of it, and lots of it. And now I'm using it slowly but surely. Right, so done with those, we can get rid of those. And then open them up, and we're going to cut the inside bit out. And I'm going to do it with a knife. It's up to you if you do it with a knife or scissors. I found this to be the easiest and the quickest way to do it. Although I'm going to stop and put my glasses on so that I can see what I'm doing. Otherwise, it might not be the easiest, and it might be finger. So we shall see. So what's everybody else been up to? What have you been doing? What are people making? I think this is the last for me for Halloween. There might be one more kind of decorating wise. But this is pretty much it. Because all of these that I'm making, the reason I'm doing 3 of each, I did start telling one, is I'm making a whole journal of them, which I'll show you at the end, because there's lots already been done. And it's so I'm just trying to think. I'll have 4 flip throughs to show you, and they are cut which of Ballantry Moor. It's one which I did make reference to, some TV series that I really like. Say in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. It's a few years old now. Okay, I've cut that bit out, and then I'm going to cut this middle bit out of here, just on the one side. So I've essentially got a back with a fold. Ooh, I'll cut that off. And we take that off. Look at that. Like a pro, even though I can't really see what I'm doing. Wrong angle. So you end up with a back like that, and 2 little frames that sit on top of it, which we're going to put acetate on, which we shall do presently. So I'll do that again. So we're taking out the middle of each tag shape. concentrate. And we're taking the strip out of the middle, just on one side of the envelope, on the same side of the tags. Do that, we do that. And do that. Turn it round. All I've done is play with these things since I don't know if I've ever seen this done before with envelopes. So I don't know if it's original or not. I really don't. Probably not. Not many things are. But when I thought of it, I did get a bit giddy and made those. So I had bigger envelopes, bigger than A4, so I made a load out of those, which is where the journal idea came from. And then, just to prove a point, because I thought you must be able to make them in any size. So I thought I'll make some in any size, just to show you that you can. So you'll see those at the end. So you can literally go from, the first envelopes I made were bigger than A4. So a couple of inches bigger than A4 in each direction. Take that off. And the smallest ones I did were the tiny little envelopes that you get to put money in and a gift card. So you can literally do them in any size. Right, we take those up. So then you got another one. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah. In fact, I'll just do 2 of each, 2 big ones, 2 small ones. Because we might well run out of time, and I do want to run out of time. So, let's do the proper one first. So, same thing again. We're going to take out the tag bit in the middle, so that big bit. And we're going to take this bit out here, and that bit. Because we don't need those bits. And also, it'll save on, because I suppose you could not do this and make your tag shape wider so it went through the middle. I did this so that it's not so much bulk, because I'm making a journal and there's quite a lot of them, so I didn't want all the bulk in the middle of the journal, and I thought this was quite a good way of doing it because it got rid of it all. So that's that. And that's that. But we'll try and get these ones done, these 4, if we can, in this hour. And then, like I said, there might be one more video of decorating. Because I've got pockets, I've got a few pockets that I'd like to do something with. And I've got bits gathered together for clusters, but we'll see how we go. We'll see how time takes us. So that's that one. Oh, and that one. And that one. And then I'm going to put double-sided tape on these so that I can attach acetate on the inside of them, and then we're going to decorate away. Yeah, because this is a Halloween journal as opposed to a traditional daguerreotype. I am not just putting one big photograph in each. In some of the smaller ones I've just got photographs. But when I was thinking about it in my head, my logic was it was like a record keeper journal for a whole coven or something like that. So it's got lots of people in it, information, that sort of thing. You know, of course, with some artistic license, because we try to have a bit of artistic license for these things, don't we? Oh, itchy nose. Right, so that's that one. I'm not going to take that out because then that's just variation, because the envelope, I didn't realise it had a window in it, so we'll keep the window and make it a pocket, and it can have a document or something in it. And then hopefully my face isn't in the picture because I'm going to lean right forward. And we'll go down there and there. Do a little dog leg. And I mean, these are not accurate and they're not true, straight, and that sort of stuff. But I think that adds to the vintaginess of it and the age of it and things like that. Because it looks like it might have been made in a time when they weren't precision cut. So then we have, now look at the pocket. We have that with its two frames, that with its two frames, and that with its two frames. So next job is, if I can find it, double-sided tape. And I am going to double-sided tape them all. Because I just found this easier with the acetate. It caught them and stuck them, and there was no gluing and please stick. This worked for all of them. I'll put some on the top actually. And then another thing I did with the smaller ones, because I'll probably forget later, is I'll put a little extra flap on some of them so that they can be attached to bigger ones, because I want to put them in a journal. They can kind of be flip outs and used like that, is my theory. So, but like I said, I've never seen any of this before, so it's a complete experiment. I'm hoping it will work. In theory it should, I can't see why not. Like I like the ones I've already made. They've come out well in that respect. It's just whether they'll all sit together in a journal, which I think they will. I made a cover, and I have kind of put the big ones in to see what they look like. So we shall see. And of course, like, there are variations, plenty you could do. Like I said, you could cut both sides out, and you would have to have them butted up to the middle though if you're going to cut both sides out for acetate. Otherwise, they'd just be two separate frames, wouldn't they? With nothing in the middle. But what you use them, I mean, you could use them as pockets. You could use them as purely photographs. You could use them for documents. You could use them. You slide a piece of writing paper in. So you can pull a card out and write on it. There's all sorts you could do with them, and all sorts of themes that you could use. This just struck me as working for the Halloween one, especially because I had Till Death Do Us Part and Rotten to the Core from Death Dave. Both sat on my desk and was fussy cutting Hoi Polloi and Kindred. So, which is the second time I've cut that kit out. So it's a good job I like fussy cutting. Let's get all these done. So yeah, I'm hoping this is followable because I'm kind of doing a production line mass make sort of thing. You'll see why at the end when I show you all of them together. But it should make sense. It's not a difficult thing to do. I don't think. Okay, where'd my scissors go? Let's have those bits off because they ain't where. And there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna do this video, get it uploaded and on the system so you can all see it and hopefully have a go, or leave me nice comments or whatever you want to do. Give me a horrible comment if you like. And then I'm going to go for a walk to IKEA. Well, a bus and a walk, because I'm just trying to organise storage and stuff in my new place. I have a lot of storage space, but no shelves or anything like that. So I'm just trying to get organised. Everything's been measured. I know what I need. I know the gaps I have to fill. So I'm going to go, because I have an IKEA quite close by, I'm going to go have a look and see what I think will go where. And then and then when I'm back this afternoon, I might look at making you another video if I feel up to it, with the clusters and the pockets, and then it literally will just be 4 journals to flip through, which I'll probably do in 2 videos because I think it'll take a while. So that's that one. Think about this one a bit. She's not going to have acetate in one of them. So we'll do one. And that one. Like that. That one like that. And then this, I think, I've got some more like this. I think there were a couple that had pockets on, and so because I'm just going to keep that window and use it as a pocket, I think I'm going to put double-sided tape just down out the side and leave the top open. I think we shall. I can always do this one this way and then do the others a different way. Yeah, let's do that anyway. So on this one, this can go straight down. Although I have just thought now, peel the tape off. I might put something that you can see through the window. So, bear with me a sec. I've got bits of. Hang on. Let's put that. Quite like that. That should. I know it's a lot bigger, but I'm going to put that there. It's out of. Excuse the bang. It's out of an old history magazine. And it's a very old map of the United Kingdom. I'm going to do that so that it shows through of the window. That's that. Okay, and then we can shut that up. Just pulling off that bit of whatever that was. At the edge. And then on these ones we're going to put acetate. So I've got some pieces of acetate which are a nice slightly yellowy colour because they're, let's turn that round, they're overhead projector slides, but old ones. So they're that colour in the box, they must have been sat in the sun somewhere. And they were A4 and I've just cut them in half for this project, and I'll trim them down to, because that's not helping, nothing. Broke my fingernail on that one. I have a fault in my thumbnail. Like a genetic thing, it's always been there. So at a certain point, it always cracks in the same place every time. But it's always below the nice bit, like it breaks here, really low down. And I usually forget about it because, you know, even though I'm 56 and it's happened for 56 years, I don't remember these things. And it's usually when I catch it on something and it breaks off that I remember that I should have kept an eye on it. So it's quite sore at the moment. Just because it broke last night. But hey. Right, so that's that one. So when you put that down, got that nice. And I'm going to put something underneath that. So I've got, now, and what I've tried to do is not overthink it too much, otherwise we really will be here all day. And so I've got pattern papers from Dave, and then two books that I've used. I've used a book called The Country Herbalist, which has got lots of old pictures and writing about herbs, funnily enough, which I thought was quite apt for a witchcraft type book. And the other book that I used is called Queen Victoria's Sketchbook, and it's she was quite a prolific artist, evidently, and so it's a lot of her sketches, and I thought they kind of went with Dave's Kindred and Hoi Polloi and his Want to Go Until Death Do We Part, because it's just, they're like sketches of people, and so they kind of fit that whole, in my brain anyway. So we're going to start with the background, and obviously if you were making a proper daguerreotype, you would just, that's just going to show, I don't want it to, you would just put in a big photograph, or you would make these to the size to fit a photograph, if that makes sense. That's stuck to my fingers. I'm just going to cut those little corners off the acetate, because they're going to annoy me and get in the way. I'm not going to ink these. I've inked everything else I've done, but we'll be here all day if I have to ink them. And then take, and then I've got all these snippets and bits and pieces from the book called Country Herbal, and I've used some of those. Let's find a nice picture. Where put these? Here we go. So I've got a nice picture. No, we will use that because that kind of goes with that background. And then, so that's all my plant stuff. Excuse me leaning over. So, not those, but these are all from, not that one. No, these are all from Queen Victoria's Sketchbook. There we go. So they're all just, I thought they kind of went quite well with what I was doing, and so we will see if I can find one I like. Kind of like that. Or that. Weird man, very strange looking man. No idea. But hey. What else have we got? Young boy. No, I'm going to go with her and with the fleur. Okay. So that. Film the slang down the bottom. And I'm just making sure that what I want to show short. And then I'm going to ink that flower one because it's very white. And we don't like the white, do we? We don't do white very often. Although I did in my previous video. But not for this one, I don't think. No. Just going to grind it up a bit. Make it dirty. And then we'll put that one on that. There we go. How good is it? I'm going to put it on a wonk. Because you know, they were witches. Why would it be the right way around? And we might even. What I've got, bear with. It's only a bit. There you go. I might use that as well. That's from Dave's, I want to say, perfumery kit, which will be on Etsy, 75% off. So I've taken all my stuff off Etsy. They just, yeah, not my idea of a good business. Like really, they I mean, they take so much money off his digitals. I don't know how they sleep at night, quite frankly. Okay, so that's the first one done, essentially. And then what I do, or what I have been doing, is taking one of these hoi polloi. Now, some of these I stuck them on cardboard. So, because I've got a young lady there, I kind of look for someone to go on the outside. But kind of, you could argue, at a pinch, only at a pinch, is the same person. That's logic. So, quick ink. And then you just have to make sure she don't go right up to the fold, because she's going in somewhere. And then she'll go on there with a little level. And that's my first one done. That's the pocket, so I'm not going to worry about that. I haven't stuck them down yet, because you'll see later on I've got some with flaps that I want to stick inside. But essentially that'll go in a journal then. That's a journal page with your little frame and your picture, and then it'll have a little her on it somewhere. Don't know where yet, maybe a different one. Yeah, so that's our first one. But let's see how we do with time. Oh my god, that took 39 minutes. 39 minutes. Okay, that's an A4 one. Let's do an A5. Yeah, do a little A5 one. And then I'll show you all the different sizes I've got and the various variations. Okay, so again, I think if I cut that in half, yep, that should fit. just going to cut that. Well, I'm going to score it first, but directly in half. And it should just sit on there. I need to turn that round so you can see it, because it was hanging off the bottom. So yeah, we'll get the hang of it eventually. And like, I would have probably done this over a few videos, but we're running out of time. It's nearly Halloween. That's why I'm trying to get it uploaded and on, because it'll be here before you know it, and then it'll be pointless until showing you until next year. And I'd have to make, oh ow, stabbed myself. I'd have to make some more in a different style for something else, for a different project, wouldn't I, if I was going to show you, which I may still do. Because this might have been so rushed, everybody goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. Hopefully. Oop. When you see all the ones I've played with, it'll make a bit more sense. And you'll understand what I'm saying about making them into a journal. Hopefully. Okay, so that's that. Let's try and get there. Let's move this one out of the way totally. And I'm really bad at getting it on straight, and that's totally just poking out the top a little bit, but I will stick a word or something along the top just to cover that, but also it gives it that that I'm handmade look. Unlike this one, it's just not going to do anything for me. I did one of the bigger ones that I made, has some amazing creases in it, but it does make it just look very vintagey. Like this one's probably gonna, because it doesn't want to work. Oh well, hang on. There we go. And this was the other thing I did on one of them, was just ripped off at the bottom and re-put it back on, because it just didn't want to play ball. And that's when I wasn't rushing. I'm trying to make it. Ooh. Right, let's try it. The downside of double-sided tape. Okay. And then so we might abandon this one for now. But this is what happens when you make, when it doesn't go the way you want it to. Just re-stick it. It still works. It's still doable. Use a piece of boo-boo tape or something on there, and that sticks it back together. But yeah, there's a broken one to finish off with. All done, bye. You know, I'm joking. But yeah, I will fix that. That's my own fault for rushing. But that's what you get. You get lots of those in various sizes that make pages in journals. So, if you bear with me, I'll show you where we start, or where I started. I'll just throw those over there out of the way and clear a bit of space. I'm getting there slowly. Getting there slowly. Oh, move that one. and that one, and give myself full desk. So, oh, there we go. So let's have a start. These are really big. Exactly the same premise. Put them out, acetate, decorated them. And this is what made me think, journal. And on the back of this one, it's got a tuck because it's going to be a journal page, and that'll get decorated. But yeah, so there's that one. Now, so this was worn. Same idea, person, wallpaper, bit of words, alcoholing. And these are the only colours that I have. Don't have many. But I just wanted to see what it looks like, and that's what happens when you put alcoholing on the acetate and it soaks into the envelope. So that's your other. And then I made this one. And this one, which is a slightly smaller envelope. I don't know why. I had two that were slightly odd-sized. So this one's actually got a tab on the ends that folds out. And again, I'll show you in a minute some of the smaller ones I've done, but having the tab was quite helpful. That's why none of them are stuck down yet, because they're possibly going to have things. So that one, and then that one, and then that one. So they're the big ones. And then we have the A4 one that we've just done. That's the first one in that size. So that's that one. And then I just got smaller and smaller. So this was... I can show you the envelope actually, bear with. So this was, I think, 4x6. That sort of size. You know, the ones that you normally get, or when you use the card make, and if you use the card make, or 5x6. So, one of them. And you used to get cards and envelopes in packs. That's one of them. Same thing. This one's all glued up now, but it can close up, and this one's got a little thing on it. So you could either use it like that and decorate the outside. But my logic was, because it's going in a journal, that it'll get hooked under there and then like that. So it'll hang in that way. And then we got a bit smaller. So we've got these ones. And these are, let's see if I can find them. Is it that size? Yeah, that size. So these are 4x4 with a flap. And it's exactly the same thing. Stuck it down, fold it in half, did the little template. And then again, because I want to put these in here, I put a little hinge on them. So you could either close it up, have a hinge, decorate the front of it like a little book, or, as is the case with these, it'll probably get hooked under there, folded, and then like that. So that's the smaller, and then I've got even smaller. And it's a tiny little envelope. This is, let's see if I've got one. These ones, and this is 4x2.5. So same thing. Sealed it up, did it in half, made a tiny little template, and that's more just photographing each. No, but then I've put a hinge on it as well, because you can either close it up and have it like a little book, or I'm going to use it by adding it in, flipping it down. So, and that's what that little one looks like without any pictures in. Exactly the same thing. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. And then there's that one, which is similar but slightly bigger. exactly the same deal, and I again put a hinge on it because I want it to get used in there. And then I use some of them just singly. So instead of folding it in half, I just cut down two sides of the envelope, did the top, bit of acetate, and that'll actually either go that way and fold over the top and be a flip down, or go that way and flip up. Same with that one. And then that one, which is that envelope that I did the two on, but I just did one, cut down each side, turn it in tag shape, acetate front, and that'll either go on that way like that, with a picture on the back, or to the way. And then this one, this size, just as a single one, slice down either side, acetate in, and then again it'll either hang over or hang over that way. And then the bigger envelope that we did this one with, I did as a single envelope, so tagged it, it's not been glued down yet, put a picture in, decorated the outside, and again it's got a hinge on it because I'm going to flip it out. So there you go. What do you think? It's a lot, I know, but that's kind of what consumed the last few days of my life, just making those in infinitum because I wanted to. And once I'd started, I was like, I must show people that you can make them in any size. So I got tinier and tinier and tinier, and that one was just like, yes, I can do it that small. Because they're the ones I started with, they're the envelopes I found first, and they're the ones I started with. So this is going to be like a 3 signature journal. Hang on, I need to do this, and this, and this. So 3 signatures, like that, with a bit of, probably a few bits of paper and stuff in, and then all of those interspersed in between. The idea being, because it's lots of people, that it's kind of a record keep of the coven of the journals that I've already made. So I hope you liked that. I'm just going to turn that around so you can see them. I hope that made sense. I know it was very rushed, but it was a lot to try and show you in an hour. And I'm trying to stick to an hour because my first couple went over by a lot. And just get back into the swing of doing hour videos for you. So, like I said, after I get back today, I'm going to attempt to do pockets and clusters for you. I'm not guaranteeing that I'll film it, but I will try. And then definitely going to film the flip throughs this evening for everything but this one because it's not put together yet. And then we're almost there. Then I can have a rest then until Halloween's been and gone. I won't. I'll find something else to do because it's the way my brain works. But yeah, I don't have to stress too much about making sure there's something, if you see what I mean. So yeah, let me know what you think, and hopefully I'll talk to you all soon. Bye now.